Welcome to another edition of Biro Sports Talk. I'm your host, Biro. What's up, everybody? We got stuff to talk about. We are here. We are ready. Let's get into week 18. So, game 17 for all these teams. But before we dive into that, of course, I'm going to talk about how week 17 picks went. So Tressa, Corbin turned theirs in. I had mine. Tressa went 10-6. Her only faults: Kansas City did not beat Cincinnati, Miami did not beat Tennessee, Carolina did not beat New Orleans, and Denver did not beat the Chargers. Dallas lost and Cleveland lost. Then you got Corbin at 13-3. His only mistakes was picking the Colts over the Raiders, Dallas over Arizona, and Cleveland over Pittsburgh. And he tied Biro 13-3. Biro missing with Kansas City over Cincinnati, Colts over Vegas, and Cleveland over Pittsburgh. So not a bad week for you all. Not for everyone. Not bad, not bad. However, let's talk about this week. So this week, for once, I'm not hearing through the grapevine resting. So, very interesting in that. But we do have our picks. There's 2 games Saturday, a bunch of games on Sunday, and your national championship on Monday for college football. Fun times. We'll get into it. And that is fine. I just saw that, Corbin. It's all good, man. It's all good. But you and I tied this week, 13-3. Man, we had a very good week. But hopefully this week will be the same. So, again, a lot of teams playing this week. I haven't heard a lot of sitting, only because everyone is in the playoffs. So, before we start picking, let's look at the standings for the moment. Here we go. Interesting. But let's talk about who's in. So, Titans are in. If anyone, the problem with anyone being in right now is that there's someone right below you that could take your spot. Believe it or not. So let's look at this. So right now, the Titans are the 1 seed, the Chiefs are the 2 seed, the Bengals are the 3, and the Bills are the 4. The Patriots are 5, the Colts are 6, Chargers are 7, Raiders 8, Steelers 9, Dolphins eliminated 10, and Ravens not quite eliminated at 11. They need some help, and a win would help tremendously that way. So, here's how some of this breakdown will work. They're all within a game if you're in the top 4. Bengals, Bills still could play for that bye game as long as the Titans and the Chiefs all lose. We'll have to see, but moving right along. In the NFC, we got the Packers in the 1 seed, Rams, Buccaneers both at 12-4, but Rams 2, Buccaneers 3, Cowboys 4, Cardinals 5. The Cowboys are sitting pretty good. Can't really argue. if anyone could really rest their team this week, it will probably be Dallas. But why? Why would you? Uh, like I said, Cardinals are in at the 5 seed. Eagles are in. They're right now the 7 seed with the 49ers at the 6. For some reason, the 49ers are not clinched, but the Eagles are. Interesting all around. The Saints are still alive at 8-8. Will they or will they not squeeze in? Picked a lot of away teams. Yeah, I noticed that too for mine. I noticed that too. But we'll get there. And your eliminated teams, let's start with the AFC. You got the Dolphins, the Browns, the Broncos, Jets, Texans, Jaguars. In the NFC, you got the Vikings, Falcons, football team, Bears, Seahawks, Panthers, Giants, Lions. If you haven't seen yet, the football team are planning to release their name. And I believe I want to say it's February, is what I saw. I don't have the exact date in front of me, though. So, moving right along. So, leaving the standings up, we'll talk about how it would end up with how I picked, and we'll go from there. So, how I picked this week. So, 2 Saturday games. I went Kansas City and I went Dallas. Kansas City over Denver, Dallas over Philly. Philly probably dropping down to that 7 or staying in the 7 position. Looking again, Dallas probably staying in the 4 seed. Sunday, I got Cincinnati winning over Cleveland. I got Green Bay over Detroit. I did pick Minnesota over the Bears because got to pick some home games. I got Washington over the Giants. I got the Colts over Jacksonville. And I got Pittsburgh over Baltimore, officially eliminating them. Tennessee over Houston. And that's your 1 o'clock game. So looking at that, Green Bay solidifies the 1 seed. Probably rests Rodgers about halftime or 3/4 in, depending how much they're ahead. Pittsburgh gives themselves a shot. But with the Colts going 10-7, I think they're eliminated. Tennessee with the win would probably solidify the number 1 seed over Kansas City. Bengals probably be a solid 3 still. And yeah, let's keep moving all right along to the 4 o'clock game. So there's a bunch of 4 o'clock games. You got the Saints. I picked the Saints over Atlanta. Buffalo over the Jets. Rams over the San Francisco 49ers. New England over Miami. The Cardinals over the Seahawks. And the Buccaneers over Carolina. So, looking at that. Those games. The Saints squeak in for the playoffs since San Francisco lost. Buffalo probably solidifies their 3 seed, or 4, they're the 4 seed, with New England solidifying they're the 5 seed, so they'll probably face a 3rd time. Rams solidify their 2 seed. Buccaneers also solidifying the 3 seed. And the 49ers getting bumped out due to a loss. Vegas And the Chargers play at 8 in prime time. Honestly, winner gets in. And I'm choosing the Raiders. Now, let's talk about this. On paper, yes, the Chargers are probably the better team. But I'm choosing the Raiders because they've overcome a lot of adversity this year. They've overcome just. They always seem to be in this position of late, and I think Derek Carr needs this just to squeak in and prove how elite he is. Even with the squeak in, you play Kansas City, who've shown a lot of issues this year, even though they're starting to pick it back up. And both teams could be dangerous. You have to go to Arrowhead, though, and that's where it'll be an issue. The interesting parts are if you go by conference records, the Bengals and the Patriots are both 8-3. They'll end up probably being 9-3. Kansas City struggled. They're going to be 7-5, just like the Bills. And if you're looking at this conference, Chargers are slightly better in division, but the Raiders are better in conference. Still waiting for that gaming content. I know, man. It's finding time to bring that gaming content. And also picking a game. That's also a big issue. Not going to lie. But speaking of games, since you brought it up, got to bring up Evo Retro, as usual. Gaming needs accessories, game protectors. You got Funko Pops. Obviously, I have Funko Pops over here. Those aren't in boxes, but I have some that are in boxes that have protectors. Funko Pop protectors are also at Evo Retro. I have some merch. You've seen me in the hoodie sometimes on this channel. But they have everything you need. If you want to do Week 18 picks, feel free, man. You have till Saturday. You have till Saturday, 4:30 to send them in this week. So, yeah, longer time to do it. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Still trying. I already forgot what the first step is. I think it's affiliate. That sounds right. Oh, I can't remember. I wish I remembered. But yeah, trying to get some recognition on Twitch, even if it is the lowest level. But yes, gaming content coming. It's a new year, new me. Hopefully, we'll see some soon. Looking around just because we're here. Let's think about next step. Oh, I was going to say, think about next steps for the playoffs for NFL. So, for the NFL, we will be picking who wins each week for that. Won't have the nice official pick'em sheet, basically, that you've seen on the page, which is at Facebook. But feel free to send in your picks. We will list who plays. Next week there should be 6 games, followed by, gotta do math in my head, I believe 4. Then 2, and then we have our Super Bowl after the Pro Bowl, if they do it. I think they're doing it. So yeah, so obviously feel free. Once again, the email address, birosportstalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and on Instagram. Man, I haven't been posting on Instagram a lot either. Gonna have to change that. So, focusing. Because I can get distracted pretty easily. Now, for this sheet. So, this sheet is college football bowl schedule sheet. Had to cross out some games because they were canceled. Had to cross out teams in the games because they got replaced. Out of the replacement games, I was 100%. The two replacement teams, one team lost, the other team won as the replacement. And we'll talk about that here in a second. So last week, Purdue and Tennessee were in a shootout as we were finishing up. Here are the results of the games leading up to today. Tennessee ended up losing to Purdue. Michigan State beat Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh losing their star quarterback pretty early in that one. So not surprised. Wisconsin did beat Arizona State. Rutgers lost to Wake Forest. And that was Friday. Central Michigan wasn't supposed to be in the bowl game, but ended up beating Washington State. Alabama beat Cincinnati non-convincingly, really. Cincinnati, it was a good taste of what they need to become. And I think I didn't get to watch. I wanted to watch, but I didn't get to. I think getting the taste of what they need to become will make the drive that much harder for them. They'll prepare more. They'll do better next year. Or for years to come, if that's the case. But Georgia did beat Michigan pretty, a little more soundly. Arkansas beat Penn State. Oklahoma State beat Notre Dame. Kentucky beat Iowa. Ohio State squeaked by Utah. And I do mean squeaked by Utah. I don't know what was up with that game, man. Was not expecting a shootout. Baylor beat Ole Miss, and Kansas State beat LSU. So what was Biro this year for bowl games? Well, leading up to the national championship, which is Monday, 23-14, a lot better than the 500 in years past. Georgia, Bama. I personally, sticking with my original pick, Georgia. I personally think they needed that game. They needed to be beaten up by Bama just so that they can look at it and be like, use it more as fuel. They just can't get over that hump. They can't beat Bama. I think they use that and they get it done. Even if it is a shootout, even if any of this is a thing, they will figure it out. You heard it. Going Georgia. And sticking to it. In the world of sports, though, it's been great seeing some college basketball games finally getting played again. There was a 2-week period, basically, where there was a 2-week period where just games were being postponed or canceled. Went on ESPN today and saw the Indians are no longer the Indians. They are now the Guardians. Oh, how I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. They can be the Guardians. So, looking around, keeping an eye on the clock, of course, as always. Like I said, it's great seeing basketball on. It's great seeing everything. But what's going on in the NBA world? We might as well take a swing and talk about it. Right now, the Bulls are the number one seed in the East. It's been a long time since we could say that. The Nets are 2, Bucks are 3, Heat are 4, Sixers are 5, Cavaliers 6. They're still riding high on an early great start, even though they have point guards out for the season. Your 7 through 10 right now are the Raptors, Hornets, Wizards, Celtics. On the outside looking in, you got Knicks, Hawks, Pacers. And then you got the Pistons and Magic. Just being bad. Oh my, 7 and 29, 7 and 32. On the other side of things, of course, you got the Western Conference. Warriors are 29-8, Suns are 29-8. Then you got the Jazz at 3, Grizzlies at 4, Mavericks at 5, Lakers 6. Then you got your play-in games for the 7 through 8, 10. Clippers, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Spurs. Looking on the outside in, you got the Kings and Blazers and Thunder, and technically the Pelicans. And even the Rockets are kind of right there. Top heavy. Top 4 teams are really good. Then you got your mediocre teams in that 5 through 8. And the back end's kind of back end. At some point, though, I'm going to be honest. At some point, you look at the Spurs. They're 15 and 22. You look at this roster on the Spurs. You look at it and you're just like, who is the star? And you look around and you look around. I don't see a Tim Duncan. I don't see a David Robinson. I don't really see a Tony Parker or even a Manu Ginobili. You got some guys, don't get me wrong, some guys who can play very well. Guys who can put points on the board and guys who can do their jobs. But I don't see a superstar. I don't see Hall of Fame talent right now on this roster. I see some guys who's played for a lot of different teams. I see a team that could be a lot worse and probably should be. I wouldn't be surprised if Popovich, you don't want to think he would. He has 2,000 wins with the Spurs. That's a lot. But when is enough for the Spurs? When is they got to start winning again enough? Because it's been a few seasons. And you want to keep winning. Is all I'm saying. So, with that, we are approaching the magical time of 7:30, which is usually our cutoff. We try to keep this around 30 minutes. Best I can, anyways. Yes, and again, to the comment Corbin made in the chat on Twitch, yes, there is gaming content coming. Hopefully, we can get a schedule made. Thursdays are for the boys, though, as they say. 30 minutes here. We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Got to find some games. Got to find what to broadcast, and that's always the fun part. So, with all that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you guys all next Thursday. Talk about the NFL playoffs and more. See you then.